Wow, look at this. What else can you say about a wall of dust that's about a mile high and maybe 50 miles wide that descended on downtown Phoenix and swept across the valley east to west? Skyfox capturing this massive dust cloud rolling through downtown Phoenix. Buildings disappearing. The tallest building downtown dwarfed by a mile-high wall of dust. All of downtown blanketed in a matter of minutes. Yeah, in a word, it's wicked. Look at Chase Field being swallowed up tonight. And right across the street, U.S. Airways Center. It's just eerie how it just floats over it like fog. Both in the path of the storm, visibility on the streets, obviously, nearly zero. And you can't help but think of a week from tonight. Major League Baseball holding its Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game. And you got to wonder if Major League Baseball is getting some footage of some of this tonight, because what a picture of the strangeness of the Arizona desert in midsummer. Here's another shot. And this looks like the valley's on fire. It kind of looks like a wildfire burning down there. But that's really just the dust glowing in the city lights. An impressive sight out there. You know, we talked about the zero visibility on the ground. Take a look at this. Also, zero visibility for planes. Sky Harbor brought to a standstill. I'm thinking right before 8 o'clock tonight, maybe earlier. Boy. Take a look at the air traffic control tower. It just disappeared there. And that thing is a mammoth structure. And look at this. Before, you see that plane just kind of sneak through. Some planes were caught right in the middle. They had suspended some takeoffs and landings shortly after this picture was taken, but this Southwest Airlines jet flew right through the dust wall, emerging on the other side, getting out of town just in time. And you gotta think the size of that. You got to think the passengers on board were thinking, this is so cool, and I have never been so scared in my life. Yeah, right. And we should tell you, flights have been delayed. The terminal completely covered in dust. They've had a mess out at Sky Harbor, and that's where Andrew Hasman joins us live tonight. What's the story right now? It looks kind of benign compared to what we saw earlier.
Yeah, John, this is really nice compared to what it was about an hour or so ago. Back then, that dust storm blew through. We were here when it happened. It shut the airport down. It blew through the terminal. The fire alarm went off here, and people just stayed inside to wait out the storm. In this time-lapse video, you can see the wall of dust moving in from the southeast, covering downtown Tempe and making its way to Sky Harbor. Just before it covered the runways, a few flights were able to land.
It was like we were riding this wave of sand, and we're the last plane in, and we were just going, oh my God, are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? You know, and we just barely made it. I mean, it's just then the wall hit us right when the plane came to the gate.
We flew right alongside of it, flew over South Mountain, and then it came back around, and literally it was chasing behind us, and we landed, and that was just crazy.
Covered in dust, Sky Harbor shut down. We're on the roof of Terminal 4. We're 9 stories up, and it's so dark out here you can't even see the runway. There are planes waiting at the gates too. You can't see them either. And it's so windy up here, it's hard to stand up straight. The dust made its way inside the airport too. At the height of the storm, the fire alarm started going off.
May I have your attention, please?
The alarm is now going off here in the parking structures at Terminal 4. The elevators don't work. We're 9 stories up. And like everybody else now, we're going to have to take the stairs down. The dust also blew through the baggage claim. There, people stayed inside, covering their mouths.
We saw all the planes after land divert. They were like just about to land, and they took off again. So it was pretty amazing.
And it doesn't appear that fire alarm was anything serious. And if you can hear the noise behind me, John, Sky Harbor is back up and running. In just the past few minutes, we've seen planes start to take off and land here. So things are returning somewhat to normal.
You don't want to overplay this stuff, but that was one of the most amazing walls of dust I have ever seen tonight. Really?
Yeah. I was up on top of that roof when it came through, and there were a bunch of people that work here at the airport that were up there snapping some photos. No one had ever seen anything like that before, and these are people who've lived in Phoenix for years.
Right. Andrew Hasman live. So everything, by the way, quickly, airport, where are we on flights right now?
Well, we know there were some delays, and I don't know exactly how many delays there were and which flights are delayed at this point, but we have just seen flights take off and land here, so they're getting caught up. Okay, yeah, that could take a while, because we know some flights were grounded in other parts of the country coming in here, so we appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you. Sure.